In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the Double RT Boxing Show. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your time and support. Been gone, but never been away. Now we're going to do a quick rundown of the fights on the 15th. You know, the boxing junkie in me wants to talk about these fights. Will this segment get watched? Fuck it. I don't know. I don't know. But for those who do, thank you for your time and support. Now, we're going all over the world. We're going to Australia, to France, to the States to talk boxing. Now, we're going to start off in Australia with the Moloney boys. With the Moloney boys. Now, I got to see a little more of the Moloney boys due to the fact that they signed with Top Rank. Top Rank got the ESPN Plus, you know, so that's where I'm seeing a lot of as far as us in the States, period, I should say, us Americans, as States boxing fans, we're seeing a lot more just international fighters through ESPN Plus, and they just signed, I think, with some German fighters, so we're going to see some German matches soon, also on ESPN Plus. Now, as far as Andrew and Jason Moloney, I do believe Jason is going to have a harder time with his fight with Dixon Flores for the WBA Oceania Bantamweight title. Um, these fighters, the Moloney brothers, 20-0 Andrew and 19-1 Jason, they not only do they, I can't tell them apart unless I know who their opponent is. I don't watch them that much. Maybe you Australians, you can look and say, hey, that's so and so, you know. But as far as boxing, they are just like what they are. They're twins. I think they box the same and they have the same flaws. To me, their flaws, even though they have the record shows they have pretty decent knockout power, I believe their power comes more from placement, accuracy. I think they're good boxers. Now, what hurts them, and I think what's going to keep them from jumping over that bar to the next level, because both of them are really pretty much higher, especially Andrew. Andrew's like in the top four of all the sanctioning bodies. They don't faint. They like to stay mid pocket, slip and counter, which they, like I said, their accuracy and their punch selection as well. It's really well. But without the feints, no matter how good their technique is, they get timed. And you could now their competition hasn't been elite where to take advantage of that. Besides Rodriguez for Jason, besides that one, there really hasn't been no one to take the fight to them like the next level is. It was Rodriguez, yeah, Emmanuel. And like I said, even in that fight, it was a close, competitive fight. But you saw that Jason wasn't taking advantage of it. And like I said, I think in this fight, Andrew, the monster, should have no problem getting rid of the Ghanaian Elton, who's 25. Like I said, he knows how to box. Is he world level beater? No. Uh, Moloney is a better athlete, better skilled. Elton kind of he throws the 1 2 3 combination repeatedly over his feet sometimes. Like I said, Andrew and Jason, when they're adding a little movement to their game, they're better fighters. When they stick to that mid range, they're too easily timed. They don't throw feints. Like I said, I only watched about 3 of their fights. You know, the World Boxing Super Series, the last one on ESPN Plus, and then the ones I researched them when I first discovered them on the channel. So I watched a few fights and then tape, and I just don't see feints from these guys. I don't see feints, but I'm picking them to easily move on to the next one. I said Dixon Flores, I think is going to give Jason Moloney a tougher fight. I, Even though he throws a little wider, he throws for punch. if you just want to say who you don't want to get hit by, I don't want to get hit by Dixon. Like I said, Jason Moloney's power it comes from accuracy. Even though he has the better knockout ratio of the brothers with 19 and 16 KOs, I would rather, just by the eye test and velocity and the throwing, like I said, Jason has better technique, but Dixon has that wilder looking shit. You know, it just looks hard. So that right there with the hand speed, and if Jason's not fainting, like I said, I can easily see Jason just knocking the shit out of Dixon with a body shot, countering him. It's there. He throws just fast and he just throws fast. But if Dixon could start tagging him with that power and speed, it could be a harder night than it needs to be, and that's what I'm predicting. I predicted an easy night for Andrew and a harder night for Jason. You know, but both of them should move on. Like I said, they're deep in the rankings. Andrew, I think, is number 1 for UFI at the super flyweight. I believe that's what that is. Who is who are the other champions in that weight class? It's UFI super flyweight. Every time I think of small weights, I just think of Kenshiro, but I know he's like 108. Who else is with Edwards? Gave that shit up. Who beat Edwards? Oh, that shit's vacated. They're fighting for it. Who else is the other champion at super flyweight? Let's check it out right here. Champion Juan Francisco. Nah. Andrew UFI is number 1. He's number 5 for Estrada. Acasas. He's number 6 for no. Hey, that is what route I would go if I was him. Even though I'm you gotta take the route with UFI. But damn, German Acasas has not been looking good. Not been looking like the German we saw in that Manny undercard with Horn. He looks very complacent in the ring. And a go-getter like Andrew, if he get past that jab, he might just take it to fucking German, the way German's been looking. You know? So, both top rank. So that could be a nice little future right there. That could be, that's interesting. Very, very interesting, folks. 118, of course, for Jason, we got Inoue. Jason's number 5 for Inoue. He's number 3 for Inoue on the WBA. Now, with top rank, he's always got Josh Greer out there. That could be a nice top rank match in Josh Greer and Jason. That'd be a great one. That'd be a great one because to me, being the States, you know, that's the person I watch in that weight class. I'm like, okay, Josh Greer should have been a representative of the States in the WBSS, but hey, he's not that good. You know, I'm just piping up the American. He's not that good for the tournament, unless he would have been in there. But he himself has been looking like a little slip off in his performances. Maybe Top Rank throws them at Jason Moloney. Like I said, they got matchups they could build up, even if they want to keep feeding these guys the lower competition to build each other up into super matches. They now have fighters for these lower weight classes with these Moloney boys. So they got something out there fighting for. Now, moving on to another card. Again, we're going from Australia to France, folks. Australia to France. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Australia to France. You know. Now, this was the main fight I wanted to talk about. I wasn't going to do no video. I've been busy, but I'm going to throw them all into this one. The only one I really wanted to do was this fight right here, folks, in France. The WBA Super World Title. This is the belt. This ain't no sugar belt. This ain't no water belt. This is the belt. Arsene Goulamirian, the cruiserweight title, taking on Kane Watts out of Australia. There's a lot of Australian going on right now. The reason why I'm into this fight, and if you're following the RRTB boxing show, you know, and if you've been following me on Twitter at RRTB show, at RRTB show on Twitter. I think that's what I am on Twitter. Fuck it, I forgot. What am I on Twitter? You know, sometimes your mind gets fucking lost in the sauce. Speaking of why we're watching this fight, Arson, is because of the sauce. The Double RT Boxing Show franchise champion at RRTB Show, at RRTB Show, yes. Now, as I said, sometimes our minds get lost in the sauce, and the reason why we are watching this fight, on this fight, reporting this fight, the WBA Cruiserweight title, is because the sauce, the Double RT Boxing Show's franchise champion, Lawrence Okolie, who sits at number 2 for the WBA. It'd be so awesome. Obviously, you could tell I'm a fan of Lawrence Okolie. Who gives a fuck? It's my channel. I could be a fan of who I want, and still speak how I feel. Lawrence Okolie, I know, is a shithouse watch, but I like how he mastered that shithouse style, and I think it's fucking great to watch. That's just my taste in it, right? My black ass bitter coffee. Now, Arson should win this fight. Yes, Lawrence Okolie sits at number 2. You got number 1 Ryan Murray, who Goulamirian defeated just about 3 fights ago, if I'm not mistaken. You got number 3 Yuri Kanishke. If that's the somewhat slender Russian cat, I think he was on the undercard of one of the WBSSs. He's an older cat. I remember them saying something like they're fast tracking him. Uh, it's those fast track guys are always iffy. Sometimes they're good, and sometimes they're just too too much in the gym. Left too much behind them. And then you got number 4 and number 5, Forward Arslan and Kevin Lorena. They're fighting coming up. Well, their next fight is against each other coming soon. So for Arslan Goulamirian, the WBA champion, like I said, Ryan Murray, number 1, he already beat. Could get a rematch. Number 3, the Yuri guy, iffy. Number 2, Lawrence Okolie, the one with the name, the franchise champion, right over here on the Double RT Boxing Show. Oh man, I can't wait for that fight. I want to see that fight so bad. Lawrence Okolie and Arsen Goulamirian. But that fight don't happen if Arsen and fucking Abel Sanchez don't take care of Kane Watts. Now Kane Watts with the record of 21-3, Arsen's 24-0. For the people who do like numbers, we'll get into the number talking. Like I said, Kane Watts has to make this an ugly fight. He has to make this an ugly fight. He has to try it. Like both 6'1", 6'1", 73-inch reach. These are solid guys. These are like, these ain't gonna be the skinny cruiserweights. These are gonna be like a 31 and a 37 and a 32-year-old. Let's check out their weights. What have they came in as? The Obviously they gonna make the limit. So obviously they're not gonna list down what the rehydration weight is. So obviously they're coming in 199, one. These fuckers are hitting right on the scale, but I'm pretty sure these two guys in the ring are probably gonna be about 220, 215, and these guys, Arson. If you're like I said, he's slowly getting better, but you can still see him thinking his combinations. He leaves himself to be picked off. Now, for his size and big man, he throws hands pretty fast. He throws pretty good hands. And he's your normal big Abel Sanchez, the guy who trains in Big Bear. The comes forward fighter, behind the jab. Once he gets you behind the jab, tries to get you against the ropes and just unleashes fucking body shots, headshots. He just tries to unleash the hooks. Now, unlike Murat Gusov and Triple G, Abel Sanchez fighters, Arson hasn't quite got stuck on behind the jab. He does it, then he falls off it. He does it, then he falls off. You always hear an Abel, more action and more jabs. More action, more jabs. So he's, like I said, you see him thinking too much, and not only do you see him thinking, he'll shake his head at moments in fights where he like misses a moment, a counter or a punch he should have thrown. It's like Arson, like I don't know if he's like subconsciously he's doing it, but you can see the little bit of work that even he knows he needs. So that's always troublesome when you're a champion, you know. But still, you acknowledge that you can get better, how you want to look at it. But I think he's gonna eventually, for boxing, he's a better boxer than Kane Watts. From what I've seen, Kane Watts needs this to be just holding one arm, hitting you with the free other arm, pushing him around, jabbing in, throwing some wild hooks. Now that might work, and he might land something on Arson. But as far as going on the outside boxing, one, I don't see Arson sticking to the outside. I see Arson just trying to walk him down and hurt him. But if this fight ends up two big boys respecting each other's power and someone has to be a better boxer, oh shit. You know what? Arson should win that, but I won't be surprised if Kane Watts can just pump out a jab and steal some rounds before he gets knocked out. But I just don't see Kane Watts outboxing Arson if it comes down to a boxing match, which I because Kane Watts needs this to be an ugly, I hold you and hit you with the free arm fight. I bulldoze in, try to just frustrate you, slow the pace down. Like I say, because Arson's gonna just try and walk him down and just slowly unleash it on him. And I don't see Kane Watts having enough to move around the ring and last from that. So I'm saying like a exhausting knockout for Arston in about like round 7, 8, and 9, somewhere in there. Exhaustion's gonna kick in, and he's gonna catch Kane Watts. Fuck, you know, I hope it's a knockout. I hope it's a knockout. I won't be surprised if it goes the difference, but I just don't think Kane Watts is gonna come in that shape. You know, also on that card is Michael Sorrow and Cedric Vito. Not too sure he's gonna win that one, but from what I've seen in the past of Vito and Sorrow, I don't think Vito has enough energy to move around the ring and outbox him, and I don't think he can stand toe to toe with him. So I'd be surprised if Vito wins that. But so you know, I haven't seen much fights of those two guys, but just off the top of my head, from what I have seen, I go with Sorrow. And then finishing the round trip. We left, we went to Australia, we went to France, and now we're coming on home to the good US of A. Rocky Fielding. On that card is Terry Flanagan, Natasha Jonas. She still needs a strong bounce back. That Viviana really derailed her shit. Because at 35, I don't know, man. Her field is what? Lightweight? In her division, at her age, I just don't really know what Delphine pursuing one. So, do you see? I don't see her winning that fight. I just don't see what is out there for. We'll see it. She's number 7 in the world. Everyone else left this division. So the only names that I recognize are her, Rose, Melissa, and that's it. I don't recognize many of them. It looks like everyone went up. Everyone went up a weight class. So Natasha at 35 taking on a 3-3 girl. That's just not a good sign. That's just not a good sign to me. You know, I don't feel good with that now. If it's just, hey, get a paycheck and stay active. When was her last? When was her last fight? 7-12. Yeah, I guess it's not that bad. 3 months staying active. That's not that bad. So like I said, I'm okay. That makes it a little easier to look at that competition and be like, okay, she's just staying active. Still, hope she gets a little something with her. Something just not looking quite promising. I said when I first watched her that she reminds me of the female Earl Spence. The way she stands, the way she fights, the way she attacks, everything reminds me of Earl Spence. Looking at her. Now on to the main card again. There's Terry Flanagan, Martin Murray. Those two, I really don't know what the hell they're doing in boxing. I don't know what their end goal is. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna win. Now, as far as Rocky Fielding and Abdullah Pazia, Rocky Fielding's a crazy fucking mystery card, man. Now, like I said, if you've been following the RRTB boxing show, I believe it was season 3 or the end of season 2. No, season 3 maybe. When we picked, we're like, okay, we're gonna call it out right now. These two fighters are two fighters to watch for. Caleb Plant and Rocky Fielding. That's who we called out at the beginning of the season. And sure enough, that year they go on. Plant beats fucking Ugatsky. Fielding gets a Canelo shot, you know? So it's not like we don't on the RRTB boxing know what Rocky Fielding is capable of, but you know, what's gonna come out of? Like I said, are we gonna see the Tyrone Zug Rocky Fielding? The Brophy. See, Brophy was a blast, one hit, and one rounder. That Horseshack, that was what, a little, you could say just a tick over fight. But it was a little underestimated. But again, he bounced back with a Tyrone. Then he did some bullshit against Saul Alvarez. You know, I didn't expect him to win that fight, but I expected to pump out some jabs. But hey, he got countered. And he's like, fuck it. Now he's coming back in a 10-rounder against Abdullah Pazi. 26-6 and won 23 knockouts. 26 years old, 6 foot. How tall is? What's scary is this guy already has a fight lined up for December 28th. You know, that's weird. You know, he's fighting Rocky Fielding tomorrow, and he has a fight lined up in a little more than a month away. So he ain't planning on. Either he's gonna make easy work of Rocky Fielding, or he don't plan on putting up much of a show and quitting. You know what I mean? That's like the minute he feels a rough shot, he's gonna quit. And so what are we gonna get from Rocky Fielding? What are we gonna be allowed to see from Rocky? If Abdullah, like I said, he already has a fight lined up for December 28th. Is he just going in there, getting with one hard punch and going and quitting? Saying he can't feel, you know how they do it in boxing. Because if we're just going to sit here and talk, can he win the fight? Why not? It is the Ready Talk boxing show, the RRTB boxing show. The hand speed at 6 foot. You saw the height difference during the press conference and the weigh-ins. He's definitely a smaller man, and he has hand speed. He has the foot speed advantage. Now, does he have the legs and the boxing ring IQ to make his leg attributes and hand speed attributes take advantage of the fight? Man, a part of me want to say upset so bad. You know what? I'm looking at this fight. You know what I feel like? I feel like Sam Eggington all over again. You know, like that wasn't supposed to happen. That wasn't supposed to happen. And I feel like this is the matchup. You got a nice little fucking, where's he from? Tanzanian taking on Rocky Fielding. And what is supposed to be a nice little tick over, welcome back fight. And you, like I say, small guy, you think Fielding could just 1-2 him, and keep him at the end of it and knock him out. But what if the guy has more loose on it and he could slip in that jab? Like I said, part of me is I still want to ride with Rocky Fielding. I guess he's like a David Price for me. You know, like I know he's not the greatest. He's like your average Joe dude, but he just seems like he's a little better. Like he's a little. He could give us something. But did that defeat of Canelo just... The dude smiled when he was on the floor taking a body shot. Like, yeah, that hurt. That hurt. You got me good, Canelo. What the fuck? You know, was he smiling for that paycheck? He's like, no, it was worth it. It was worth it. Yeah, thank you. You know, it's like, oh man, you know what? On that fucking smile alone, and I said, in the RRT boxing show, we support Rocky Fielding, but on that smile alone, I need to be proven wrong, which it happens a lot on this show. But hey, I'm a boxing junkie. I'm fucked up in the head, I guess. That's why my predictions be all over the place. But just like you, we talk that talk. We talk the boxing right here on the RRT boxing show, which is the Ready Talk Boxing Show, with your host, me, Mr.A. Hit the thumbs up, hit support. We're on a 25-minute, going on 26-minute, November 15th boxing shakedown. Thank you for your time and support.